Hello, everybody. Today, we're honored to have Phil Tourney, a Navy veteran and survivor of the 1967 attack on the USS Liberty, in which 34 Americans were killed and 171 were wounded by Israeli forces in international waters. Today, Phil is here to share his story, what happened on the Liberty, and so much more. Phil, thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah, well, thank you kindly for having me. I certainly appreciate it. And yeah, let's just dive into it. Ask me anything you want, and I'll try to get it answered for you.
Wonderful. Yeah, if you could just introduce yourself and your role aboard the Liberty, what brought you onto the ship in June of 1967?
I got aboard Liberty in mid 1965. I had already did two tours of Vietnam on ammo ship USS Mauna Kea AE-22. I got transferred from the West Coast Westpac to the East Coast, the Sixth Fleet, and my duty station was I got Liberty. I don't know how I got it, but I ended up on the Liberty, and it was a very unusual looking ship. I didn't know it at the time that it was the most sophisticated spy ship in the world at that time. We could bounce signals off the moon and send them back to National Security Agency within 3 seconds. I personally didn't do that. I was not in the spy part of the ship. I was in engineering, and I was in the ship fitter shop, pipe fitter, uh, welding, and taking care of potable water and things like that. I was a third class petty officer. At the time of the attack, my duty station was in the forward repair party as assistant on scene leader. But that's how I got aboard Liberty, and I made three cruises with her, including her last.
And you said the USS Liberty was a spy ship. What were you told the USS Liberty's mission profile was at the outset of the Six-Day War?
Well, uh, I knew it was a spy ship after the first few weeks I was aboard her in late '65. But our duty, our orders were to monitor signals out of the sky and send them back to the National Security Agency if we could decipher. The CTs would send that information on, and they would pick signals up out of the sky from anybody. It was perfectly legal. We were in international waters, and we did that all the time up and down the coast of Africa. But we got emergency orders from Abidjan, Africa, to go to the Mediterranean. We didn't know what was going on, but it was emergency orders. Get everybody back aboard ship ASAP. We're leaving here now. If we have to leave anybody, leave them, but we're leaving. We're gone. We're out of here. Fortunately or unfortunately, everybody got back aboard the ship, and we headed off for parts unknown. We ended up in Rota, Spain. We picked up three linguists, uh, marine linguists, Russian, uh, other language could have been Hebrew itself, and a fourth one was a civilian, Alan Blue. He was former NSA, CIA type guy. Unfortunately, two of the Marines we brought aboard in Rhoda and Alan Blue, the civilian, were blown to bits when the torpedo hit us. But that's how savage it was. We got on station on the 7th of June. The IDF flew over a ship over and over and over again with their reconnaissance aircraft. They flew so low to the ship you could see the pilots. We'd wave at them and they'd wave back. I might want to add this too. We asked for a destroyer escort because we knew that things were hot over there. And we were denied not once but twice. You don't need an escort. You're a flagged American ship. Everybody knows who you are. Your protection, your battle shield, so to say, is that American flag.
Hmm.
That American flag meant nothing.
Before the attack, how did the crew perceive the mission? Was the atmosphere relaxed? It seems you said that there was concern.
There was concern. There was concern, but there was also a calmness. Wally, it was a very surreal calmness that our best friends were there watching over us because we had no help. We could see the bombs going off on the coast, black smoke bombs. I mean, we were 12.5 miles off the coast. We were always in international waters. On the 8th of June, same thing started all over again. As soon as daylight come up, here are the Israeli aircraft again reconning our ship over and over again. Same profile as the day before. They'd flap their wings and give us a little wave. We'd wave at them, and it was very surreal. Everybody did what they could do. You know, when they're off time, they would go up and sunbathe or whatever they wanted to do when they had their off time. And a lot of people sunbathed. We did that in Africa, everything, you know, all the time when you weren't working. And suddenly around 2 o'clock, we had just secured from general quarters, and all hell broke loose. I had just left the forward gun mount. Uh, the sound-powered phones weren't working because we had a general quarters drill. So I had a friend of mine, David Skolak, go up there and try to fix it. I stayed up there, I don't know, about 45 seconds, 30 seconds before the attack began. I said, well, I better get out of here, go back to my duty station, and get back to work. As soon as I entered the hatch to the shipfitter shop, the whale boat blew up. And they said they were testing it, so I thought the engineman blew up the whale boat, and I went out to see, tried to go out and see what was going on. This chief grabbed me by the nape of the neck and said, get in here, we're under attack. So I run to my duty station, and it was on. We were getting pelted over and over and over by unmarked jet aircraft. We didn't know who was attacking us. We thought it was the Arabs.
And earlier that day, you said that the Israelis already saw you and you made contact as they were flying overhead. So even the same day, they knew the USS. They knew it was an American ship. That's so alarming.
It is, and very interesting. Uh, the Israeli war room. They had a table, a war table, and they had us plotted on that table as American and friendly. They had already identified us as American and friendly. They say they changed the watch and forgot to tell the other watch commander that we were in the area, which is ridiculous. It's a stupid, stupid lie, alibi. And they took us off their war table and forgot we were there. So there's so many lies told about that attack and what they got by with and what they did. There's so many war crimes they committed. Uh, I mean, this brutal attack went on for 25 minutes from the aircraft, unmarked jet, Mystere and Mirage jets. They did over 30 sorties over our ship. 30. They shot 2 of our 5x8 flags down, brand new flags. We put up another one, well, I didn't personally, the signalman did, a 7x13. You could see it forever. They said our ship had no markings on it, no flag, no nothing. We got a message out to the Sixth Fleet, Terry Habardier did, because they took out all of our antennas. They tuned in to our antennas with heat-seeking missiles and destroyed them all, except one that he took offline. He got it working, jerry-rigged it. Rockstar, under attack by unknown jet aircraft. Send help, send help. Immediately, Captain Tully off the USS Saratoga sent rescue aircraft to come to our aid, and they were recalled by McNamara. Do not help Liberty. Do not help Liberty. Return to base. Soon after that, the America launched and the Saratoga again, both of them, to come to our aid. And President Johnson got on the line. He says, I could give a GD if we have a few dead sailors, I will not embarrass my ally Israel. How did he know who was attacking us when we didn't? How did he know that when we didn't? So our own government set us up to be sunk by Israel, blame it on the Arab states, and get us into World War III. That was the whole plan. We were nothing but sheep, little sheep in a barrel that they were going to slaughter to get us into World War III. This attack went on for 2 hours. The air attack was 25 minutes or so. And then the torpedo boats got there. That's when we could see the Star of David. We thought they were there to help us. But no, they weren't. They were there to destroy us.
Describe what you saw and felt when Israeli jets and torpedo boats struck. What moments stand out most?
What stands out the most is we thought the attacking aircraft were the Arabs because our Israeli friends wouldn't do that. I mean, there's just no way they would do that. Then we saw the torpedo boats and we said, well, here comes the cavalry. They're coming here to help us. No, they're coming there to sink us. They fired a total of 5 torpedoes at us, Wally. 5 torpedoes. 2 went aft, I know of, where the other 2, I don't know where they went. One went right into the communication spaces where the spies were and blew 25 of them to bits. Blew them to bits. They circled the ship, firing at the cannons and machine guns. All of our life rafts were shot up from the air attack. They were either burned up or shot up. They dropped napalm on our ship. Napalm on the bridge of the ship, the starboard side of the ship, right on the bridge. And I mean, just in this 2-hour bloodbath, there was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. All you had to do was just try to stay alive with your will and your wits and your vigor and everything you had just to stay alive. We were going to put our most seriously wounded in the life rafts so they'd have a chance to live. There was only 3 of them. They shot them out of the water. That's a war crime. They shot our 2 life rafts out of the water and took one aboard the boat as a trophy of the kill of Americans on the high seas. And I heard it was in Haifa or somewhere like that, as a trophy of the kill, murdering Americans on the high seas. We didn't get any help for 17 hours after the attack. Our government left us out there hoping we'd sink. Help was only 40 minutes away, and help never did come to us. Help never came to us for 58 years. They've been silencing this. It's been buried deeper than the Epstein files. That's how bad it is. You know, what they didn't count on is us surviving. Us surviving prevented World War III, and a lot of people don't realize that. Us surviving saved millions of lives. And I'm not patting myself or anybody else on the back. I'm patting Jesus Christ on the back because he's the only one that came there to help us. That's the only thing that any of us can figure out. The good Lord was on our side and kept us afloat to tell the truth. And we've been telling the truth and been called liars and Jew haters and Nazis. We didn't kill anybody. They did all the killing, and we get called names for telling the truth.
At what point during the attack, did you realize that these attackers were not Arab, but they were Israeli?
When we saw the flags on their torpedo boats, Israeli flags, we saw the flags. And like I say, we thought they were there to help us, but no, they were there to murder the rest of us.
And by the time rescue arrived, what condition was the Liberty in?
Oh my goodness. We had a 40 by 40 foot hole in the starboard side of the ship. It was listing badly. 34 men are dead. 174 others were wounded. It ended up to be 174 others wounded. 2/3 of the crew out of 294 were either dead or wounded. That's how savage and brutal it was. Anything that moved, they tried to kill. Anything that moved, they shot at. That's just, you were just a moving target. I mean, they were shooting at people trying to get them off deck. I was one of them. They, you know, I was walking wounded. I was very lucky, and but this target practice, shooting fish in a barrel. They liked it.
I watched your interview with Candace Owens as well, and you were mentioning during a point in the interview that you gave the one of the Israelis a big "fu," or you once you made eye contact or something like that. Could you do you know what I'm referring to? Could you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there are actually three waves: the jet aircraft, the torpedo boats, and then they sent commandos over to finish us off, to either rope or ladder down, however they're going to get down to kill the rest of us and scuttle the ship. And yeah, they got the big middle finger, uh, but they didn't care. They just laughed about it. All of a sudden, they just took off. They were gone. So the gig was up. Uh, they 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 admitted too soon that they attacked our ship by mistake. If they just kept their big mouths shut, they could have went ahead and finished us off, and our government would have covered for them anyway and got us into World War III on the side of Israel. That was the whole plan, Wally. That's why they sent us there. LBJ sent us there to sink and blame it on the Arabs and get us into World War III. And it's been covered up ever since. From LBJ to Donald J. Trump, not one president or any Congress will have us in front of them because they're afraid to. They're afraid of the truth. They lied. They say there have been 5 congressional investigations. There's never been one. They're all a bunch of coward liars. I guess they're all bought and paid for by APAC.
Were you debriefed or pressured about your account once you made it back safely on shore?
Well, when we rendezvoused with the USS America, USS Davis, and USS Massey, they took the most seriously wounded off, took them to get better care wherever they could around the world. And we were at sea for about 2 days after the most seriously wounded were taken off. Admiral Isaac Kidd and his JAG officer, Captain Ward Boston, came aboard our ship and interrogated us uh, about the attack, what we saw, what we heard, uh, everything. You know, he took his stars off and said, "I'm just like your dad. I got to know everything so I can get this down factually and properly." So we told him everything about the napalm, the machine gun and the life rafts. Why didn't you come send help? Uh, I mean, just everything we could think of, we told him. And then he said, "I'm going to tell you something, boys. Don't ever repeat a word you said. Or you'll end up in prison or worse." You know what worse means? We all knew what worse meant. We all knew what worse meant. They were going to kill us. And I didn't say anything for 18 or 20 years after the fact until I read a letter by a friend of mine, Stan White, Master Chief Stan White. Then I've been doing it ever since for the last 42 years. It's been my life. Uh, I must do it. I have to do it. Those 34 men that died that day didn't have a voice. They were young men. I was only 20. Young guys got blown to bits. And I got to live my life and raise a family. But I also have always been doing USS Liberty anywhere, anytime, any place I could for the American people to understand uh, how two crooked governments can operate and get by with it together. Israel got more money for murdering Americans on high seas than they ever got in their entire existence, and they're still getting it for murdering Americans on the high seas. Were they blackmailing all of them? Have they got them all blackmailed so they won't interview us? Uh, you know, I don't know. It's just disheartening, and it's a cowardly act. You can't serve two masters. You either serve America or you serve Israel. You can't serve both of them.
Absolutely. All of the survivors of the USS Liberty, it seems, reject the mistaken identity narrative.
Absolutely, to a man. There was no mistaken identity. It's a pre-planned, calculated attack to murder us all. They thought it was going to be easy for them. It should have been easy. Uh, Over 850 rocket cannon holes, over 5,000 armor-piercing bullets in the ship, napalm burning us up, a 40 by 40-foot hole in the starboard side of the ship. The USS Liberty is the most decorated crew in naval history since World War II for a single engagement. From the Medal of Honor, Navy Crosses, Silver Stars, Bronze Stars with a V for Valor, Combat Action, Navy E, Presidential Unit Citation, uh, and nobody knows about it. Uh, we're just like what they call I guess, the black sheep of the family. They don't want us talking. Hey, we're losing survivors all the time. We lost another one this week. Probably 4 in the last 6 weeks have died off. So we're dying off quickly. Uh, God willing, I'll be around for a lot longer, and I will keep on telling the truth till we get in front of Congress and they listen to us and quit treating us like we're the bad guys. We didn't hurt anybody. We were serving our country honorably with distinction. And these crooks that run our government don't have the kahunas to stand up to a bully, Israel. So they got to be all blackmailed or paid off. All of them belong to AIPAC. Most of them, 2/3 of the Senate and House, belong to they side with Israel rather than Americans. Figure that one out.
And decades later, many of those NSA documents remain classified regarding the incident. What do you believe those documents would reveal?
It would reveal that the attack was set up by LBJ and Levi Eskol, the premier of Israel at the time, to sink a flagged American ship and bring us into World War III. And if that's about as damning as you can get, this cover up is a lot deeper than Epstein, believe me. This is murder, cover up, bribes, intimidation. It holds it all. I mean, you couldn't dream this stuff up, but it's the truth. You know, we put our lives and our honor, and we'll put our wealth, whatever we have, to get the truth out. We're not lying, and America deserves the truth. They always say the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and just the truth. But they never want to tell the truth. They always say, well, it was a mistaken identity, case closed. The Board of Inquiry said it was a case of mistaken identity within 7 days that inquiry was done. This inquiry should have took well over a year.
You mentioned that you've received backlash and you've been called names along with the other USS Liberty survivors for simply surviving, is what it seems like. Could you touch on that a little bit more and explain the sort of backlash you've received for speaking up about the incident?
Absolutely. Well, as I said, we've been called uh, liars, Jew haters, Nazis, anti-Semitic pigs. We just had a reunion in June in Norfolk, Virginia, and we had to have a police presence there. It cost us around $15,000 to hire the Norfolk cops, off-duty cops, to make sure that we weren't harmed. Uh, some of the staff would not work at the hotel. They were afraid of what might happen because of the backlash. We were supposed to have a couple speakers there, which didn't speak there. Uh, and It was all to do about nothing, but we didn't know what could come out of it. You know, you got a lot of nuts running around the world that see this stuff and say, okay, I'm going to make a martyr of myself and I'm going to go kill one of these bastards or kill us all. So that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is when you got to have police present to protect us. having a reunion honoring our fallen shipmates, 34 of them that died
Yeah.
June the 8th, 1967. That's what we were there for, is to honor them. We have a beautiful monument in Tidewater, Virginia, 4809, uh, all marble. It tells about the attack and honors our dead. It's a beautiful, beautiful monument. People have called it anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic. It just tells the truth.
You recently, after October 7th, the environment seems to have changed. You interviewed with Candace Owens that seemed to amplify the awareness of the event. What impact did that have, and what impact what has changed over the past 2 years from your point of view?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed, and it's changed for the better for us, is social media. People like you, Candace Owens, Jake Shields, uh, Owen Schroyer, uh, so many people around that I've been on their shows, individuals like us that get on these programs or have their own programs. And that's where things have changed. It has changed in our favor finally. For once, people are starting to wake up. And you're right. The what happened on October 7th, it's still going on now. It's brought the attention of the world of the savagery and the cruelty put upon these people.
And decades later, what do you feel like justice would look like for the survivors of the USS Liberty?
Justice would be to be recognized and to be understood and to honor those men that didn't have a chance at life, uh, and for the country, for the world to know the truth. Uh, this is so diabolical and so insane what they tried to do. The world must know about it so it never happens again. So it can't happen again. And the, the thought of a nuclear war, and there were nuclear subs there were Russian sub under us, ready to nuke the Temple Mount uh, if we go down, if things get worse. I mean, they were on a war footing. So, again, that's not sinking, saved tens of millions of lives, and people should understand that.
What can viewers do right now to support the USS Liberty Veterans Association and push for full disclosure?
To support us, it would be great. Just go to libertyveterans.org. You can buy hats, shirts, memorabilia, coins. You can make a donation. We're a small group, and we use that money to keep our voice strong, to print our newsletter. Uh, yeah, if you can find it in your heart to do that, it would be wonderful. LibertyVeterans.org. It'd be a it'd be a gift. We're a 501c outfit, so it's tax deductible. Yeah, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you could help us out.
Phil, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining me today. I greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you, thank you. Well, it's my honor. God bless you, sir, and wish you all the best. And thanks again for getting the word out about the USS Liberty. It's important to the world. Thank you.